Leaders Connect 360 is started with the specific objective of inviting 1,000+ leaders and create 1,000,000 leaders, a hybrid model leadership community where every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we learn from top management leaders on Zoom Live, and once in 3 months in each city, we will have an offline networking meet to network, support, and grow with the leaders. That's when we call us leaders create more leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will be giving you an opportunity to speak to our guest, Mr. Basheer Mohamed, and CEO Winteg Consultancy Service Private. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on LinkedIn, and this episode LC089 is being recorded. For the visitors who are joining the first time, you may also click on the WhatsApp, Facebook, and LinkedIn link on the chat box to get the updates on a weekly basis and join us in the creating more leaders. Also, we request all our members and visitors to turn on your videos to see your smiling faces, which will help us in making this episode highly interactive. So, are we all ready to interact with our guest, Mr. Basheer Mohamed, CEO Winteg Consultancy Service Private? On this topic, leadership grows entrepreneurship. Then please type yes in the chat box. Yeah, thank you. But before the introduction of the guest, let me also take the privilege to introduce a founder of the Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will have an interaction with our guest, along with our panel discussion leader, Mr. Pankaj, Managing Partner, Bija Training. I welcome our guest, Mr. Basheer Mohamed, CEO Winteg Consultancy Service Private. Now, Mr. Arul will play the introduction video of our guest. Over to Mr. Arul. Please welcome Mr. Basheer Mohamed and Mr. Pankaj in the chat box. Yeah. Now our panel discussion leader, Mr. Pankaj, he is the managing partner of Bija Training. Now he will take over this session. Over to Mr. Pankaj, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nalai. Good evening, all, and welcome, Mr. Basheer. So indeed, it's a privilege today that I am, having an interaction with you face to face. Okay. So welcome, Mr. Basheer, to Leaders Connect. And I take this opportunity to interact with you for this panel discussion leader. So now I believe the topic itself is very interesting. That is leadership grows entrepreneurship. And Mr. Basheer, I think you have really experienced that journey, right? From a salaried person to an entrepreneur, right? So, yes, this topic itself seems to be very interesting to me as well, because I have also come along the same journey, okay, from a salaried to an entrepreneurship. So, how do you think, how, if you can just share that, if we can know that how leadership is important in entrepreneurship, why and how it is necessary, if you can just throw some light on that.
Certainly. So thank you very much. First of all, I wish to convey my thanks to Bija Training, Prakash Sharma, and Mass Leadership for having me here. So it is a privilege to be here as a guest speaker for this evening. And I know we don't have time. I think we have a hard stop at 7 o'clock, isn't it? Now 6:30, I think we just have half an hour. So I'll quickly get into the agenda of the day. So yeah, so you asked a very pertinent question. The question was, how is leadership connected with entrepreneurship? So in fact, entrepreneurship is nothing but leadership. A holistic leadership is entrepreneurship, because nobody can succeed in business without being good on leadership. And when we talk about leadership, we're talking about various levels. One is, at the lowest level, is leading self. So somebody who is good in self-direction, somebody who is good in managing his time, somebody who is disciplined, somebody who has the self-confidence. So these are all the main attributes which are required for leading self. Now, as we climb higher, then it comes to leading teams. Now, as a team leader, what is required from us? Now, are we good at, let's say, influencing our people? Because today leadership is not about authority; it's more about influencing. Can we make them, let's say, behave in a certain way? Can we make them perform in a certain way? Can we make them? Can we make them more aligned to the company culture? So all that is happening at leading teams at the mid-level, and then it comes the top level. It's more about leading business, where we're talking about setting a direction for the organization and defining the culture of the organization, setting a vision for the organization, future search. All that comes at the top level. Now, in entrepreneurship, you don't have these three levels. No, especially in a startup, we are all small companies. So we are not a giant manufacturing organization. We are a consulting organization. And here, an entrepreneur has to be all three in one. It's not one in one or two in one. It's a three in one. So one, I have to be good at self-leadership. I have to be good in leading my teams. I also have to be good in strategizing for my organization, creating and building that culture. And more so, if you see in today's world, we are working from home, and there is a concept of remote working. So there's a greater challenge on a business person. So unless and otherwise he is structured in the way he goes about delivering his or her responsibilities, then it's a difficult task. So people who want to jump into business or entrepreneurship should be first great leaders. And when I say great leaders, now many people, leadership again is I'll say it is a very much misunderstood term, but it's very simple. How do you lead a situation as an individual, as a team leader, and as a business? So all three put together is a leader, and therefore I'll definitely say that we need to have a very strong orientation on leadership to succeed in business, if at all we aspire. So all three imagine the scenario. In a big corporate organization, you have only the mid-level people doing only certain responsibilities, low-level people only doing certain things, top-level people only doing certain things. But in your organization, you are all in one.
True.
So there's a good saying, and I hope all the people know in Tamil very well. So initially, when we start up, you are the Raja, and you near Raja, near Mandri. You are the CEO, you are the office boy of an organization. You have to think on those lines.
Right.
Only then you can develop that consistency in being there, being visible in the market, and establish yourself. So leadership and entrepreneurship definitely is hard work, and but the dividends are always there. That's what I would say. The returns are there. It's worth the effort.
True. So the word holistic, when you said in the initial, right, you started with that word holistic. That sums it up, because when being an entrepreneur, I believe it's all in one. We need to have a hard conviction of what we are doing. Because unless we are not having that conviction and that confidence to take ourselves, we will not be able to take our business, our people along, right? So yes, I believe that self-leadership is something very important that takes us to the next level, right? So thank you so much. So now, Mr. Basheer, you have talked about the importance of leadership in entrepreneurship, right? Mm-hmm. But can you suggest us some good emerging strategies which we can leverage in our entrepreneurship? Now, as a lot of people has moved, a lot of dynamics has changed post-COVID, right? And in India, now the startups are coming up. A lot of people have started working on their own. So if you can just share some strategies which can be leveraged to entrepreneurship?
See, one strategy is to start small.
Okay.
Yeah. Start small. Now, if the people who are today, see, once upon a time it was like this, especially when we were young. We used to hear a lot of such stories. Somebody came and did something, so he succeeded. So another person, his neighbor, had the money, had the wherewithal. He also invested and started the same business, and he also succeeded. So once upon a time, it was success was relatively easy, I would say. But now there's so much amount of competition coming up. Success definitely, I know you definitely have to, what say, go through the grind, and success comes only to a chosen few. Probably, I think there are around 100 startups, and maybe around 5 startups see the end of the first year. And forget about us, even talking about unicorns. I think around 10 years back, there were around 20 unicorns. And now on those 20 unicorns, only 2 are present right now. Despite the fact they have the best of the people, would say, leading the business, we are seeing failure only because the business or entrepreneurship today is more competitive, and people have to be more ready. In fact, you cannot complain, you cannot blame anybody. You have to only, take total accountability of what is happening on yourself. And for those who have not been initiated into this journey, what I can suggest is they can start small. Maybe pick up some problem statement and try to address that. It can be anything. We have seen countless stories, like somebody made maybe food. His wife or mother was good at making food, and they started small, maybe, supplying the neighborhood, and the business has grown big. No? So that is the logic I would suggest. Start small and have a clear documentation, have a clear process well defined, and then you, after getting everything ready, and when you have a successful model which earns money, then you go about scaling it up. Then you go about, getting people involved. Otherwise, today, in today's business, unless otherwise you have the expertise, unless otherwise you have the know-how of things, it is not advisable to start on a very large scale. Start small, yeah, have a clear vision, have a clear process defined. Now demonstrate that your idea has to be successful in action. So once the idea is successful in action and you know that it can be duplicated, then go about, duplicating and expanding the business.
Good. So thank you. I believe what I have learned from you in this case is that you should start small, because that really gives a confidence also that whether we are doing right or wrong, and if we are doing something wrong, that gives a scope of improvement. Okay.
Certainly.
But in case if you're starting something really big, then the scope of improvement goes to a lower level, right? So thank you so much for giving that wonderful insight. So now I believe a lot of people have different thought process, and as the dynamics has changed over the period for last 2-3 years, a lot of people think that they should be starting their own, right? I should be starting my own. Let me be the entrepreneurship. But how do you think? How you can suggest people that how an employee can become an entrepreneur? Is money being the only key source to start a business, or is this something else? If I, as an employee, want to be an entrepreneur, is it only the money which I should consider, or there is another factor also?
When you say money, you mean the money as an investment?
Money, yes, we can say to start a business, yes.
See, I'll tell you what. Money is not the only criteria. If you are industrious, if you have a good network of friends or relatives or whatever money you're aspiring for, especially for a startup, it will not be a major challenge. But the first thing is you have to see who you are and how you cope up with this thing known as operating from outside your comfort zone. Especially when you have the journey from an employeeship to an entrepreneurship. Now, as an employee, yes, of course, there are a lot of positives, like you feel more safe, you feel more protected, you are in a very comfort zone, you are very comfortable. But the moment you become an entrepreneur, now you are exposed to the elements. In fact, I would like to tell you something very. It's a thing which is always there on my mind. It's a meme which I read on WhatsApp last Diwali. Now Diwali is again come. So we talk about bonus, right? So bonus enna அதாவது போனஸ் வாங்கி கடன் கொடுக்கறவன் எல்லாம் திருப்பி கொடுக்கறவன் தொழிலாளி. சரியா? Who is the முதலாளி? கடன் வாங்கி போனஸ் கொடுக்கறவன் தான் முதலாளி. Oh, you don't know Tamil, isn't it?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So, we have a lot of responsibility on ourselves as an entrepreneur. So it's not about the money alone. Your passion for business, and it's not. You will not have good days in the initial stage. And if you see success, if you plot success on a graph, we always plot success zeros here and your 100 is here or 10. It's not a straight line. Your business will not go in a straight line. Your business will always go in a line like this. It will just keep on going up. Some days you are going up. Some days you feel very excited. Some days you really question your decision as to why you took up this project. You are much better off working where everything was rest assured. People back at home, what kind of support system you have? You plan for a 6-month break, but the business will not get towards say established in 6 months. It will take a longer time.
True.
How are you going to mitigate all those things? So a lot of perseverance, lot of determination, and a lot of what you say. You need to believe in your idea yourself. If you start faltering at all these stages, then it is a very tough ask. Because like how it's like entrepreneurship is like a battle. The moment you lose your confidence, the moment you think that, oh, I think this is not going to work out, you're finished.
True.
Because they say no, success and failure happens twice. No, it first happens in your mind and then happens outside. You will keep fighting till you believe that you can win the battle, come what may. The odds will be very high.
True.
Yeah, the odds will be very high, but you still keep fighting. But the moment the thought of defeat enters your mind, you're finished.
True.
And for those in the journey who are willing to take the plunge in the entrepreneurship journey, please understand that when you become a businessman, you are always outside your comfort zone, come what may.
Right.
Always. In fact, all businessmen, be they small, this is one valuable thing which I want to tell everybody. In fact, that was very profound when somebody told me the first time. It was very profound. I kept thinking. I thought the rich and the most successful businessmen are very, very comfortable and in their comfort zone. But the reality is very different. Everybody are outside their comfort zone, and that is how they became great businessmen. But they took up greater challenges, and that's how they have grown. Say, for example, now for a company like us, maybe our quest is for the next maybe a few lakhs. Maybe if we get around 15 to 20 lakhs from somewhere, now we think, okay, we can manage for the next 2 or 3 months. But if you see a bigger businessman, a slightly higher level, he'll be thinking, oh my God, I have to pay something. I need around 5 to 6 crores. Now, if you go to a bigger businessman, now he is chasing 150 or 200 crores. If you see Ambani, we think Ambani is very comfortable, having a wonderful time, but he must be sitting in his office. Now he needs 50,000 crores by tomorrow. He has only around 10,000 crores with him. Where will you go for 40,000 crores?
Right.
This mindset is there everywhere. And unless otherwise you choose to be in a situation like this, there will not be growth. So every day is a challenge. Every day is how can we solve this particular challenge? And we cannot dream to be in a comfort zone. Okay, fine. No, nobody is chasing us for money. No, we have settled everything, and everything is happening as per they say, na? They lived happily ever after. They started a business and they lived happily ever after. That is not going to happen. But you learn to like these things. No? After some time, you get a kick out of solving all these problems, and you grow. Once upon a time, we were chasing a few thousands. If I get 50,000, I'll be very happy. That's what I thought when I started my entrepreneurship journey. 50,000 per month. If I get, I think my life is settled. But it's still going on and on and on. And yes, I definitely have to go. I really want to be in a situation where I will say, oh my God, I have to pay 10,000 crores tomorrow. What will I do?
True.
So that is the entrepreneurship journey, always outside the comfort zone. Now you have to ask yourself, will you be able to handle it? But on one side, I'll say this is one thing. On the other side, I'll say entrepreneurship is meant for everybody. You don't need to have something very special, like how marriage is meant for everybody, right? If you see 10 people on the road, 9 are fit to marry. Similarly, if you see 10 people on the road, 9 are fit to do business. The only thing is they have to develop the mindset.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, they have to develop the mindset. The moment the mindset is there, the moment they embrace the life outside comfort zone, believe me, every day is a challenge.
True.
We are facing challenges every day. Sometimes every half a day. Morning there's one challenge, afternoon another challenge.
True.
I think Ambani must be facing a challenge every minute. And that's how he must be an Ambani. Otherwise, if Ambani is having a lovely time, comfortable time, he will not be an Ambani. He will only be sitting on the platform.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I mean, what I have learned from this thing is there are two things. One is one has to move out of the comfort zone. And second is, it's all in the mind, right?
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. So thank you for sharing that, Mr. Basheer. Now, as you talked so much about that, everyone can be an entrepreneur, right? So 9 out of 10 people can be entrepreneur. Now we just want to ask you that what are those qualities which are required for entrepreneurship? So if you can just suggest few qualities so that a person can also introspect and check for himself or herself that yes, I have these qualities, I can be an entrepreneur too. So if you can just share certain entrepreneurship qualities, would be great.
Certainly. Yeah. See, people always think a business starts with an idea. Yeah, but idea is just the what do you call that? It is just there. Idea now. Almost every business starts with an idea. Successful businesses, they become successful only because of the execution brilliance. Now, so we have to ask ourselves: are we good at executing? Are we good at doing certain things in a certain way? Are we good at following a process? Are we good at consistency? Because they say you can be, see, everybody is a Mahatma. You are able to follow. But the Mahatma in us is only for around maybe a minute or so. Yeah, a Mahatma was a Mahatma because 24 hours he is a Mahatma. No? You're able to follow. So all these qualities, consistency, execution brilliance, and determination, I will say, are the key qualities. And these are nothing very, very big, nothing very complex. We don't have to go to Stanford or Harvard to get all this. Now you just sit down. We are all blessed with these. These are known as survival skills. We are all blessed with these skills, but the only thing you need to know is focus, believe in yourself, and keep consistently doing it, and start off. See, many people, I visit a lot of colleges and they ask me, can we start business? I say, start business today. You don't have to wait. There's nothing like, okay, let me go maybe 5 years, 6 years in employment and then start my business. It's not going to happen that way. If you decide you want to start your business, now have a deadline. Okay, fine, this year or next year, by end of 2023 or 2024. That's it. I'm going to stop whatever I'm currently doing, and then I'm going to start my own business. Make your plans and try to, develop a vision statement and keep working on, keep planning. And then when you start off. There's nothing like you learn everything and start business. No, business can only be learned, or the best part of entrepreneurship can only be learned when you are doing it.
Right.
It cannot be read in a book. It cannot be downloaded from somebody. The best part, 70 to 80% of entrepreneurship can only be learned when you are doing it.
True.
When you are not doing it, it can't be learned. You have to experience it. They say, sakar and sonna sakar inikadalla. You have to eat. So you have to be in business to experience it and to learn it. But before that, you have to do your spade work and see whether you are cut out for this. Are you okay to be outside your comfort zone? I'm sure your family should support, but in case if they are slightly apprehensive, what support system are you going to create for them? What is your contingency plan?
Right.
Yeah. Some people say, okay, if I don't succeed, then I'll go back to my job. That's not a contingency plan. Then surely the business will not succeed.
True, very true.
You have to break all your bridges. No? You have to break all your bridges, destroy all the bridges, and there's no retreat.
True, true.
There's no retreat. Contingency plan is okay. How will I survive? How will I survive? So we have gone through all this, and nobody is an expert. We are still learning. And of course, the challenges are becoming bigger and bigger with every passing day. But we are also getting more skilled in solving these challenges, and that is what keeps us happy at the end of the day. And thankfully, because of we being in business, the support system that we have built for our family is taking care of itself, and therefore we are at more at peace. But for a startup person, the support system definitely they need to plan in a good way so that the transition is graceful.
Right.
But having said this, don't expect something to fall in your lap just like that. A hard drive is normal. The hard road or a road full of potholes is normal in the journey of entrepreneurship. So get used to this. And when you get used to this, the rewards are plenty.
True, true. Rightly said, sir. Right. I mean, that's what people say, that you cannot learn swimming with a life jacket on. So
Yeah.
if I have a life jacket on, I'm sure that I'm not going to drown. So for sure, I'm not going to put my efforts to learn swimming. So rightly told by you. So just if time permits, just one last question, Mr. Basheer, and then we'll move forward. So one last question from my side. If you can just share just what are the essential for the entrepreneurship leadership. Now you're talking about the qualities of entrepreneurship. Now we are asking for what are the essential for entrepreneurship leadership.
You mean to say when you have to lead an organization?
Yes. Not only the organization, but even if we need to lead people when we are starting our own entrepreneurship journey. So what are those leadership qualities which are required as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So one thing that is definitely required is, see, we have very high expectations, isn't it? The expectation should be only with ourselves.
True.
Yeah. So don't have high expectations of the people in your team. That is one area where I see a lot of entrepreneurs failing, is because instead of themselves, they have high expectations of their team members. They expect them to perform at their level. They expect them to be mature at their level. How can that be? Now, I have, say for example, that person will be 15 years of experience. Now he expects his maturity level from a fresher. It's not possible.
True.
So I would suggest that you need to have your, the startup team is very critical, because for a businessman, like what they say for a leader, no? The leader is as good as his team. Same thing for a businessman also. Your success depends on your team. So choose your team wisely and take them more for the attitude they possess and not for the skills, because skills we can always train them. The attitudes are more important. Of course, any interview, of course, we have the entire HR community over here. No, even now the interview is a flawed process. Yeah, why we still continue doing an interviews only because we don't have a better way. Despite the flaws in an interview process, we still continue only because there's no better way. Whatever you do, you still will have people on your team. You will have to gauge them. You will have to analyze them. Yeah, take them on the journey. Show them the bigger picture. And today, especially with a lot of things going on, now I would suggest that you develop a sense of entrepreneurship in your startup. It's not only you are the entrepreneur. Whomever you hire, let that person be an office boy. Let the person be a front office girl. Now you should give them the chance to become the CEO of an organization, of your organization. We have read all these stories in the Western, countries, but in Indian countries, somehow I still tell that we think we alone are privileged to dream. We don't want our employees to dream. Yeah, at the moment they dream, we want to throw them out. You know what? So you will have to encourage your employees to dream. Imagine if you have a team of dreamers in your team, and they all have big ambitions. Now you will have to take care of their ambitions and somehow connect them to your vision, and they will take you forward. That's what I would say. So be selective with your team, and your team is very important, and make them also connect to the vision. Give them also what entrepreneurship is all about, and develop a streak of entrepreneurship in your entire team. Every team should have a sense of ownership, and they should feel the joy of the business succeeding.
All right.
Especially that's the reason why, if you see most of the leading, you can take Facebook for also. When they started, now he didn't have money to pay salaries. So what he did was give them a slice of entrepreneurship to everybody. So they followed by compulsion, but today we have a choice. We have to make everybody an entrepreneur in our organization.
True.
Our startup. In that way, our job will be more easy. Otherwise, half the time we'll be sitting and policing them.
True.
In the name of doing business, which again is a waste of time.
True. Thank you so much for wonderful insight, Raman. So now I believe that now we move to this quiz, and then we'll have open house discussion. So Prakash, over to you to take it forward. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Wonderful. Thanks very much, Pankaj. That is a great panel discussion which you had along with Mr. Basheer. And Basheer, awesome. Thanks very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And great insights, Basheer. Very practically, you're sharing what is actually required and how an employee also can be an entrepreneur and why. So definitely, before the quiz, I have one question, and then we go to the quiz by Ms. Archana Sriram for the quiz. The question from my side, and before we all that, for all the members and visitors, now is the time for open question also. We after the quiz is the open question where we can ask Mr. Basheer more. So there are two ways to ask open questions. Either you raise your hand and we give an option to unmute you so that you can ask the open question to Mr. Basheer, or you can write in the chat box and we read it on your behalf. But before that, one question, okay, maybe let's go to the quiz and then I'll ask you that question, Basheer, so that will help people
fine, yeah.
also to go more deeper. All right, so great. Thanks, Basheer, for doing it. So all the members and visitors, now is the quiz time. So for the quiz, I request Ms. Archana Sriram to quickly ask a question on what all Mr. Basheer had discussed, very practical insights which he has given. So over to you, Archana Sriram, for the quick quiz question to ask.
Good evening, Prakash sir. Thank you for the introduction. And good evening, Basheer sir. The session was actually very informative and very practical, just like what Prakash sir had told as well. So based on the discussion which we had right now, I'll come forward with a question, and as Prakash sir said, it's going to be very quick. So my question is going to be in the chat box. Please keep it all open. And it's a very, it's a multiple choice, okay? So I hope everybody has it open already. On the count of 5, I'm going to post it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are the requisites for an employee to become an entrepreneur? A, first an introspection. B, get outside the comfort zone. C, know that hardships are common. And okay, they kind of rushed. I'm so sorry, I wasn't able to finish the question. Okay, people have already started responding. They're very quick. All right. Okay, so I believe the end of the answers are over here. And the best answer, let me just finish. D is believe in your idea yourself first, and E is all of the above. The correct answer is E, all of the above. So yes, we have to make sure that all these requisites are entered before we go into the entrepreneurship criteria. And the first one to say that was Niladri Nayak.
Wow. Great. So congratulations, Niladri Nayak. Awesome. Wonderfully, we're able to look at the question, understand all the pointers of what Basheer said, that you're able to draft it more accordingly. Wonderful, Niladri Nayak. Congratulations to the same. Members and visitors, let's congratulate Niladri Nayak for you will be getting the Mass Leadership's 360-degree assessment tool, Niladri Nayak, as complimentary. Congratulations, Niladri. The Mass Leadership's tool of 360-degree assessment will help you to understand, as an entrepreneur, where am I currently and what are my qualities and competencies for me to hold on to be an entrepreneur. So Awesome, Niladri. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
So,
everyone.
Asher, it was a very great
for the
question.
wonderful session.
Just a
Pardon
part of the beautiful session by Basheer sir.
True. Yes. Thanks very much, Archana. That's been really nice and it's an excellent question as well.
Thanks. Over.
So Niladri is here. So Niladri, you get an opportunity to introduce yourself as you are a part of the quiz winner as well. And quickly, if you can just introduce yourself. And if you have any question, please go ahead and ask Mr. Basheer as well.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
Niladri.
Sure, sir. So thanks for this opportunity to participate, and also I'm looking for this session for a long time. So currently, to introduce myself, I am Niladri, and I'm working for one of the big four as a HR technology consultant. At the same time, I'm also pursuing my doctorate in leadership analytics from Swiss School of Business Management, Geneva. So it is always I try my best to attend these sessions if there is no overlapping with my office meetings. But yeah, thanks for this session. But I have one question here. So how does empathy matters for an entrepreneur come leader? Just a question. So
All right, Basheer, the question is there. How does empathy matter for an entrepreneur?
Empathy is a very important trait, no? Not only for an entrepreneur, even for an employee to succeed in an organization, especially in your conversations with your colleagues. In fact, that is one important trait in emotional intelligence too. In fact, that's the first thing, especially when it comes to difficult situations. Now, I spoke about a lot, isn't it? Now, you're always outside your comfort zone. Now, suddenly you will find clients chasing you, your vendors chase you, your banks chase you, and some days you chase them also. That's also there. It's not like that. So when you're handling difficult situations, the most important thing you need to have is empathy. Now, empathy, that's what will make you listen. That's what will make you understand. So it's a very critical trait we have to develop. Understand the other person, think from the other person's perspective. Why is that guy chasing me like this? Why is that, client was always giving me a difficult time? What is it that I have not listened or observed properly? And also responsiveness. In fact, what happens is the moment somebody says something, or a client or somebody or a colleague says something which we don't like, immediately we want to judge the other person. Immediately we want to put our foot down. Immediately we want to give a counter argument or a counter statement. So all these things have to stop, no? Because if you are an employee in a very large organization, whatever you do can still be, dismissed under the carpet, because you have the collective, contribution of the organization, the brand and everything. Your team is there. You're part of a huge team, so it can go along. But if you are just an entrepreneur of a startup, now whatever good you do is good for you, but your mistakes can also cost you dearly. And today, like what they say, so you have the best of the process, but who drives the process? People drive the process. And unless otherwise we are good in people skills, unless otherwise we are good in responsiveness, unless otherwise we listen to understand, and unless otherwise we have this empathy, it is very difficult for us to be an entrepreneur, especially when you are leading an intellectual business. Suppose you are doing a wonderful work. There's a lot of scope for data science and HR analytics. I'm wishing you all the very best. In your scope, empathy is very important, because most of the time you're dealing with intellectual people. Yeah, so empathy is very important trait. I'll definitely agree with you, and I second with you that empathy plays a very important role in business and also in our leadership journey wherever we are.
thank you, sir, for the nice, wonderful explanation. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Niladri, for asking that question. And thanks very much and congratulations for winning this 360-degree assessment from the Master Leadership as well. So great. So Basheer, that was an awesome answer as to why empathy is important as well. So let me just quickly ask other people as well if they have any questions, more open questions. So members and visitors, thanks for joining us today. And this is the time for open questions. Yeah, David has already raised his hand for a question. Yes, David, definitely we'll give an option to unmute you. So my question, I'll keep it to the last, David. Okay, so one more question is from Silveraj David. Yes, David, quickly introduce yourself in short and go ahead and ask me the question.
Sure. Definitely, I'll be short, Prakash, because I'd been one advocating that we should finish on time every time we say that 6:30 is 7:30. So I'll stick to that. Mr. Basheer, two things, I think. One, I agree. One, I disagree with you. The first one I agree with you is that entrepreneurship, the people who start up the companies, it's not that all of them are successful. I've seen some of my colleagues, some of my course mates, batchmates, etc. You're absolutely right. Not all are successful. There are various reasons. It's not just the vision, mission, or conceptualization, or a lot of planning, there could be various reasons. I agree with you. Secondly, where I disagree with you is that you said that we do not allow our employees to dream to grow, dream to become big. Here I disagree with you. We are into corporate guest house management and contract staffing in facilities management, which you're aware. And we have approximately some cooks and caretakers and housekeepers, 144 people only in South India. We operate in Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. From the date we started ensuring that people dream of owning a house. Trust me, 76% of our people in the past 20 years own their own houses, of which almost 33 or 34 people have constructed a second house or a first floor or second floor in their hometown. They're all from villages from Jharkhand, Bihar, West Bengal, etc. And we allow them to dream to grow. We allow them to dream. In fact, now the second stage we are telling them is that children somewhere have to become a CEO of certain companies, especially the girl child. That's what we are trying to encourage them. Our goal is by 2023 end, all our employees should have their own home and their own two-wheeler. Many of them have got two two-wheelers, and we are so proud. They come from very, poor background, no education, maximum is 8th standard. Only one person in our entire team is 12th standard pass, but we encourage them to dream. It's not that we know, and we even tell them one day you want to take over the company, we would be delighted. That would be a goal, because how long we can continue? Our children are well settled and they don't need this business, etc. So I'm saying there are certain small companies which allow their employees to dream and grow. That's what
they are the exceptions. Like you are the exceptions. I'm very happy to hear your story where right from day one you have made your employees dream, and they are sharing the success story. No? Yeah. So you have not only given a piece of action, but also you have given them the piece of cake. Yeah. So that's something very nice. But such people, I would like to say, are the exception. The norm, I see a lot of people. In fact, we connect with a lot of networking forums, a lot of businessmen I have interacted from very close quarters and consulted them. But I've always seen that somehow they feel, the majority, I'm talking about the majority, 80%, somehow they feel, okay, all the laddu and halwa is meant only for me.
So that's the mindset they should shift from, is what you're saying, Basheer, correct?
So,
that's the mindset people should shift. So that's when
they
start
have to
growing.
shift. They have to shift.
When the entrepreneurship
they have
growing.
to give the part of the laddu to everybody. And we talk about client satisfaction, customer satisfaction. True. The most important people are the employees in your organization. True. And happy people, I have read somewhere, I think some famous personality said this: happy employees create happy customers.
True.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think it's from Cognizant. I was heading Cognizant facilities a couple of years ago. And I think, when you open your system, if I'm not wrong, that's what it says. Our employees are our passion. You satisfy them, clients keep coming back to you.
Definitely, yes.
I think it's from Cognizant. I may be wrong.
So we need to have that mentality to share success. That is very critical. And and I'll tell you what, you cannot start with one formula. No? Now 2 + 2 = 4. We know, okay, when you enter 2 + 2, the output is 4. There's no sure shot formula in entrepreneurship journey. What succeeds for me will be very different from what succeeds for Prakash and what is for Mr. David. Each and everyone will have to find their, like what they say, you have to find your calling. You also have to find your very own success formula, which will be dramatically different based on your personality, based on the industry that you are in, based on the times that you are doing business, based on the landscape, the city which you are doing business. The formula will be different for each and every person, but it's a constant quest to find that formula and keep improving on it.
Awesome. Very rightly said, Basheer. Great. Thanks, David, for sharing your views and insights. I'm happy. Definitely, I know about your guest house. Many people are here about knowing. Awesomely shared. In fact, yes, I myself, Basheer, have personally visited the guest house of David, where facility management services. The level of the people which they take care of it is awesome. And definitely, sure. Thanks very much, David, for sharing your views and insights. And one last question before we come to a summary of the program, and it's already getting the time. I understand it should be a hard stop, but Basheer, is that okay with one question? And then
Certainly, why not?
Is that okay with you? So we can.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We can.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. So the question which I want to ask is now, first, why a person should do a business or get into entrepreneurship role? Now, is it for earning money? Most people think that it's for earning money. So what's the mindset people should come? Why they should first jump into a role of an entrepreneurship? People think that I have to earn money. Is that so? I mean, because there could be many people here who wants to really get into that. So why it has to be very clear? Is that only money or anything else? So what is your view for that, Basheer?
See, I'll say money plays a very important. We cannot discount money. So see, no businessman is into charity or social service. At the end of the day, money definitely matters, and money is one of the prime. In fact, any business, the ultimate motive of any business is profit making. So if I'm into a business and my business is not making profits, I have failed as a businessman, right? So money definitely matters. So, but money should not be the only criteria, because after some time, people who blindly chase money now start attempting to win all the battles. So, and in the process, they lose out on the war. So there are certain battles we have to learn to lose. There are certain areas where we have to give in. There are certain areas we have to put our personal interests aside for the betterment maybe of the organization or the betterment of the client relationship or the betterment of the society. So when we talk about all these parameters, then people who are obsessed with money find it difficult to understand. So money should not be the only criteria. That the criteria should be like, I would say that your passion to do something different, your passion for growth, and what are you going to do with that money? That's also very important, because I have attended a lot of workshops conducted by very, very eminent trainers on, especially on entrepreneurship. They say, try to visualize. Suppose if tomorrow you got 1 crore, what are you going to do with that 1 crore?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's our job, no? Our job is, our responsibility is not only to create jobs, our responsibility is also to give back to the system, give back to the society. So those things also matter. In fact, there's another school of thought, and I also believe that our skills are not our own. Whatever skills that we have developed, it can be PR skills, it can be people skills, it can be business skills, it can be they are not our own. We think it belongs to us, but society has taught us.
Yes, agree.
We are not born with a lot of skills that we currently possess. No? The cutting edge skills, we are not born with it. There was some mentor in our lives. There was some boss, some leader in our lives who helped us master that. Now we have to give it back to the society, and businessmen are in the best position to create a very positive impact to the society. So if we start off on these lines and have a clear plan as to what are we going to do with our success, I think even the spiritual component also is taken care of through our business.
Yes.
You don't have to differentiate materialism and spirituality. If you go methodically in the materialistic way, even the spiritual path is also taken care of.
Yes, very right.
And that is very much required for us to be in balance.
True, true.
Of course, you make your mistakes, you fail, all that will happen, but you are very, very level and you are very sorted when it comes to yourself and what role you play as a businessman. I think we need to do all this.
I want to share, Basheer, in fact, thanks for sharing it, because apart from money, it's more important the passion, the purpose what you're sharing.
The purpose.
Why becomes a very important role. I mean, it's not about just keeping the money that I need to earn, so I start. It is why we need to start. The purpose and the passion is what you're highlighting. That's really, really very necessary.
Yeah, one thing is I like to just, what is your contribution goal?
Yes.
We always talk about consumption goal. No, what is your contribution goal? What is it you're going to give back to your family? What is it you're going to give back to your society, to your neighborhood, to your maybe folks back in your native place? So all that we need to definitely think, and those things will give you the strength to what say consistently operate from outside the comfort zone. Because at the end of the day, you are not fighting the battle only for yourself. You are fighting the battle for your world.
True.
So therefore, that gives you a lot of strength. They say, entrepreneurship is a leap of faith.
Yes, it's a complete leap of faith.
A leap of faith. and what gives you strength is all these things are the only thing that gives you the strength. Otherwise, if I have to leap for myself every day, I will not do it every day. No? I'll rather stop after some time. So all these things will help you, or say, derive that strength.
Awesome. Wonderful, Basheer. Thanks for sharing your points on these parameters of leadership grows entrepreneurship. I'm sure most of the people who like to become entrepreneurs from this particular community which we have, I'm sure there's a good direction is what Mr. Basheer has given us, and what kind of a mind, right from the what kind of mindset we need to what all we need to be taking care of, and how the journey is going to be, all has been shared with Master Basheer. So awesome. Thanks very much, Mr. Basheer, for taking your time in this and coming across to Leaders Connect 360 and sharing your views. And so to summarize what all are the key points which we have received from you, Basheer. So I request Mr. Sendil from Daimler India to share a quick summary of what all the pointers, and then we come to an end of the program by introducing our next week's leader as well. So yes, Mr. Sendil, over to you to share. Kindly unmute yourself, Sendil.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prakash. Thank you very much, Prakash, and thanks for the wonderful opportunity given here at the end of this end of this session. And thanks, Mr. Basheer, for giving a very deepful message about the entrepreneurship, and it's really inspiring and creating fire in everyone's sure. Now, for the benefit of time, I would like to recap this session. What I have taken during my travel journey on my way back to home. Before that, I would like to introduce myself that I'm Senthil, working in Daimler for past 14 years, leading as a senior manager in a L&D learning and development function. Within this space, I'm trying to enrich my knowledge through this leadership forum and see what best I can give back to the society, give back to my colleagues working in my team. To start, to coming to the recap session, first we started with the holistic leadership mindset approach, where we need to have a good discipline, culture, and leading a business by setting a vision. And the three qualities of the leadership qualities what we were discussing were the self-leadership, leading a team, and leading a healthy culture in a business. And third strategy was the strategy for to be entrepreneurship. We should be starting with a small baby step or a small steps with a clear path and clear vision with full accountability to scale up the business scale. And fifth point was we should know who you are and how you can operate out of the comfort zone. That really matters rather than focusing on money. Coming to the growth of a leader path, we should always try to work out of the comfort zone in all the situation. And last but not least, with compared when coming to this is the mindset is to embrace out of comfort zone. This really drives a person to operate always out of comfort zone. Some of the few qualities of the entrepreneurship is to start with execution of a brilliance rather than focusing or working with idea, with the consistency as well as with survival skill. Next is next is to develop a vision statement with a clear timeline and deadline. Today, if you see, most of the leaders learn, that is 70 to 80% of the leaders learn by putting their ideas in action rather than dreaming it in themselves. Next is you should always try to choose the road of potholes, which gives a richer experience when it comes to the entrepreneurships. Next is the leadership qualities requires expectation within self rather than setting an expectation on others. Next is the success depends on your team by grooming the attitude, because skill is something which they can acquire in the learning journey. Next is provide opportunity to each employee to encourage them to dream big and try to connect their dream with our leadership vision.
Yes.
Last but not least is the leadership should always drive the team with the empathy mindset. The finishing line, what we have been really resonating, and there was a really goosebump person, the methodology in a materialistic way to ensure that the spiritual quality is always taken care. This is a very powerful message, what I learned from today's session. So all that thought processes always work with the divine methodology with the materialistic way, or by default, the spiritual qualities falls in place.
Yes.
So next is the finishing line is the entrepreneurship always starts with a leap of faith.
The leap of faith is one of the very, very important, though it is unseen, correct?
Yeah.
Though it is unseen, that faith is very, very important. That yes, we will be able to do,
to reach,
we will be able to grow, and that's the base which drives in people. Wonderfully shared, Basheer. Thanks very much, and thanks very much, Senthil, for your quick summary of all the points what you've captured from Mr. Basheer's points. Great, Senthil. Thanks for your time as well. And so let's come to a quick vote of thanks for all. And for the vote of thanks is where I invite Mr. Saurav Kumar Das. So for sharing the vote of thanks and sharing to Basheer. And quickly introduce yourself and share the purpose of the community as well, and then proceed. Okay, Nelle Nayakam, please go ahead. Start.
Dear Mrs. Basheer sir, actually a really wonderful session with a more practical solutions and beautiful, deep, thought-provoking Tamil quotes. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And
I think he got say fascinated by that. Kadan vangi, bonus vangi, kadan kudukra.
Next is Nane Raja Nane Mandri.
Nane Raja Nane Mandri. Kadan vangi bonus tarvanda molali.
Yeah.
I agree that.
Kadan vangi bonus tarvanda. Are you prepared to do that? Yeah. Then please comment. Yeah, please, sir. I'm sorry, I'm digressing. You're digressing.
Before me sharing that about the next week episode, and let me quickly share again the purpose of this community. For the visitors who are attending the first time, Leaders Connect 360 is a hybrid model leadership community where every week on Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, like how we have seen Mr. Basheer sir shared his solutions today. This Leaders Connect 360 online leadership community also gives an opportunity to network with the people on the last Wednesday of every month through the online, and once in 3 months with a direct networking at each city to a network with working professionals for a personal and professional or social needs. That's when we call it as leaders creating more leaders. If you wish to join our community, please click on the below social media links. So now I am happy to announce our next week episode. Next week, Wednesday, we have our reflection and networking episode through NOEL method. One of the secret of how powerful leaders who are growing constantly is through networking. At Leaders Connect 360, we network through NOEL. Want to know what is NOEL and how to we use? Join us on 26th October 2022, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. Zoom live. A registration link for this episode will be shared through the social media platform shortly. I would like to thank our guest, Mr. Basheer sir, and panel discussion leader, Mr. Pankaj sir, for spending their valuable time in sharing their experiences and solutions.
Great.
Over to you, sir.
Thanks. Yes, thanks very much, Nellai. It's really been great. And I also like to share in fact, Mr. Nellai was talking about the offline networking meet episode. So next month, November is where we have November 12th, we have an offline networking meet where all the guests of honor will join us. Until now, today we have completed 85 plus episodes. So all the guests of honors will be joining us, all the panel discussion leaders will be joining us, all the authors also will be joining us, and many other entrepreneurs as well as working professionals join us for the networking meet, which is going to happen at Taj Clubhouse on 12th of November from morning 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. followed by the breakfast. So please do block this particular date and time, it's a Saturday. So it will help us to network, and structured networking is what which we'll be doing it with this particular day, which is 12th of November at Chennai. And in December is where we have it in the at Bangalore. So thanks very much, Arul, for sharing it. So I would request all the members and visitors to block this particular date and look forward to see you all. It's a great opportunity to meet all the guest of honors there at the event directly and get to know more insights from them. So with that, we are coming to an end of our episode. Thanks very much, Basheer. That's been really great interacting with you. And it's a lot of real-time insights shared. And in a nutshell, you made it as well. Though the journey is continuous, long, and making it nutshell to share makes it much easy for people to understand.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prakash. Thanks for calling me. It's my pleasure and privilege to share my thoughts, and wishing everybody the very best. Good luck to everyone, and advance wishes for a happy Diwali to everyone.
Yes. And I was wanting to say that. So advance happy Diwali wishes for all. And I would request all the members and the people who have joined us for the first time to just stay back. There's a small introduction session also comes up here now, because now is where you can introduce yourself and network after a small thank you video. So just hold on so you'll be able to introduce with each other and know each other more as well. So over to Arul for a thanking video for all. And after that, we'll have an introduction session of each other. Yes, Arul. Great. So thanks very much, Basheer, for investing in time and creating more leaders. Yes. And I believe Basheer just left. He had a hard stop. He had to move by 7:30, he told. Thanks very much. And I will kindly stop sharing and the live streaming. It helps us to get introduced to all our new members.